All right, guys, so the project for today are these little plastic V rollers. They're for some sort of patio furniture, and a cord kind of rides right in the middle of the V. And as you can see here, over the years, it's kind of worn a groove right into them, and you can't get replacement parts, apparently. So what I'm gonna do is make them out of aluminum. They should hold up much longer, and probably a little bit easier to machine for me anyway. I'm going to be using my old Logan lathe here. So this is the material we're using. It's roughly 1 1/16 inches, I believe. Yep. I have a collet here to hold that, and it's going down to around 1 inch in diameter. Not that critical. The only measurements that are semi-critical are really the width and that little step on the edges and the center bore. So I'm going to be mounting this in my 1 1/16 collet. See if I can do this one-handed. Slide the collet in there first, line that up, and then slide the material in like that. I like to make a quick sketch, sort of like a blueprint, let's say, of my rough dimensions. I can see what the inside of the V is, 620 thousandths. My width right here, halfway point in the center, my bore, and my outer diameter. But like I said, it's not that critical on most of the dimensions. Another little trick I like to do is when I finish, I'm going to take a pass right now, a few passes, and get the outside diameter of the stock down to where I need to be. But what I do is after I make the first one, I kind of leave a little bit of material cut down to my outside diameter. So as I work my way across, I basically just set the tool right to that outside diameter that I want. All right, I'm gonna leave it right there. As you can see, didn't clean it up completely, but you gotta remember, I'm gonna be making a V in this, so most of the material is gonna be gone anyway. All right, so I got my digital caliper set to roughly the middle of the V. I'm going to spin this and just put a little scribe line on it. All right, I changed out my tool. You can see here, so it's a parting tool of some sort. It's got an insert in there, but it's a little bit wider than some of my regular parting tools. This is a high-speed steel one that I grind myself. You can see that's much thinner. Sort of use that for the final cut. This guy, I'm going to set my compound here. I believe it's set already at 20 degrees. It's roughly what I calculated this to be. And then I'm going to bring it into the edge here and work my way down to the scribe line that I put in the center. Alright, so it's going to leave a little ring of material in the middle. So what I do is back out the cutter and then take the snips and just kind of start cutting the ring. Cutting and bending if you like. Alright, so I have my basic V. Doesn't look great, but it's at least a rough shape. I left a little excess on both sides. I'm going to come in, make this corner now, and then I'll work my way down to my final width. And I could even make the bore now if I like before I weaken it too much. I'll probably do that now. Make the bore. I have my drill bit set up. I don't need to start this because I had already drilled it previous. When you do the first one, it's always good to use a center drill, then spin the turret. On this lathe I have a nice turret, I can set it up with all the drills, and then I spin. This isn't that critical, like I said, so I just do center punch, drill. Right now, I already have a starter hole, so I'm just gonna come in with the drill bit. Alright, you can see here, this is a little stainless steel bolt that I got. That's a perfect fit in there. It's just enough play to let the pulley roll around. There's no bearings or anything in here. It should be fine. Alright, so for the next step, I'm just going to take my little hand file and I'm going to smooth the V's down and bring them to a point down in the middle. And like I said before, none of this has to be that precise. It's just for a little cord to ride in between the V. Alright, so I put back on the thin parting tool. Just going to get a rough measurement with the calipers. Kind of getting a little crazy on me. I think the battery's going dead, so I'm just going to set it off of the original one I made right there. I'll bring this down and I'll slide the parting tool over to my spot. Always like to go just slightly larger, and then what I'm going to do is, once I have the rough shape, I'll change my collets out to a 1-inch, and I'll slide the pulley in, and I'll just clean up both sides and bring it down to my final dimension.